their stream thing, which is actually really easy. You just hit the drop down box and then go through. But anyway, everyone's loaded in, so I'll do a formal introduction. So hey everybody, welcome to the Premier League. This is Season 3. This is our winner bracket final between Virtus.Pro and Empire. Empire going to be over on the Radiant side, and VP going to be over on the Dire. As always, I am Basskip, bringing you guys this game, and this is another unofficial cast from me. A reminder that the official cast, which is Triumph of Man, joined by Eternal Envy, is over on the Premier League stream. So if you don't enjoy my coverage, do the teams, do the tournament a favor, and go and check those guys out. So Empire, they're going to start us off with the Nyx ban. Empire looking really strong after yesterday's games, and dragging myself through all of those all the way up until I think it was 5 a.m. we ended yesterday for those games. I didn't cast any of that. I only just got permission back from TPL to be able to provide this unofficial cast. And Empire actually going to ban at the Nyx here, which is a little bit unusual to say the least. Wisp, go for the Wisp ban. Nothing too unusual there. We might see something like the Undying ban, which would leave, in fact, a bunch of what would normally be the first pick ban heroes still in the pool. I mean, the Darkseer, the Magnus, TA, occasionally worth banning against Scandal as well. And that's sort of the one caveat, banning against Empire, is that you really want to ban Funix Wisp, because nobody really wants to have to deal with that. And you sometimes want to ban Scandal's TA because a lot of people don't want to have to deal with that, especially if you're not thinking that you can draft a mid to deal with it. And then maybe they end up with something like a carry Undying played by Blow Your Brain. So there's always problems there. They're going to choose to ban out the Magnus here. Empire are going to get their Batrider through. So probably just going to be seeing Funnick play that one, though there are some other options there. And Virtus.Pro, what are they going to go for here? Wouldn't be too surprised to see a Darkseer. In fact, though, who else has made it through? The Undying has. They're not sure how much VP favor it. And we'll see. So probably just Darkseer +1. Not sure what support. I guess worth mentioning in terms of supports, though we wouldn't see it this early in the draft, would be the Vengeful Spirit against the Batrider. Swap is a great way to be breaking that Flaming Lasso pretty much every single time it's up, though it does mean that you need to get a few levels on the VS, and it's a pretty niche counter. And Empire, they're going to pick up the Keeper of the Light and the Undying. We could see a carry-focused Undying played by Blow Your Brain, or there is the option for him to just sort of be in that 4 role. So it's either sort of 1 or it's either 4, just depending on how Empire chooses to run it. If it's going to be an offensive tri-lane, we might see it as the sort of primary farmer, the carry Undying. And Virtus.Pro, they managed to grab themselves the Rubik, so a pretty good defensive support. In terms of, I guess, a standard pickup with the Rubik for the second support, we might see something like the Luna. But heading into the next phase of the draft, we'll probably see one of their more primary farmers here. Wouldn't be surprised to see the carry. Could be the Luna. She's very worth mentioning against the Undying. You get the huge bonus damage on your supports, which is enough to be able to right-click down the Tombstone, even at the early stages of the game, which does sort of diffuse the aggression from Empire if they're going to be running an offensive tri-lane based around the Undying. Though again, it could just be a support Undying, it could be a defensive tri-lane, or it could be an offensive tri-lane with someone else as the primary farmer, not the Undying. But definitely liking the Luna pickup here by Virtus.Pro. We might see them grab another 600 range support, maybe someone fairly defensive, especially if they think that Empire might run an aggressive tri-lane. And we really saw Dignitas yesterday get blindsided by an offensive tri-lane, which was run by Empire. So Shadow Demon's going to be banned out. Again, a great defensive support, good range, combos pretty well with the Luna, and Luna does sort of need that help out in the lane. She's naturally very squishy, especially with a few decay stacks up. She's barely got anything to show for health, so having something like the Shadow Demon would have been great in that lane. In terms of defensive tri-lane supports, what's still available? Tooth and the Lean is not bad when you've got the Rubik. The Jakiro is still there, though he hasn't been all that popular of late. He does combo fantastically with the Darkseer. You can throw down the Ice Path and then just vacuum everyone up into it. And yes, Epio, a stream is up. I've managed to get permission to cast these games, so hopefully I'm not too out of practice, since I haven't done any streaming or video making or anything for a few days since I've been having internet issues, but hopefully it's all going okay. VP, they're going to opt to ban out Funix Clinks, and this could be a sign that they are thinking that Empire might be running this aggressive tri-lane. Since if it is an aggressive tri-lane, then Empire would need someone to solo that safe lane, and it is frequently the Funix Clinks, which strikes fear into the hearts of men. It really does. So VP in terms of lanes, what do they got right now? They've probably got their defensive tri-lane, Rubik Luna +1. Darkseer could be mid, he could be on the off lane though. Given the fact that Batrider could be mid, he could be on the safe lane. We'll see how that works out. VP don't really want to match the Darkseer up against the Batrider. It's not the best matchup in the world for him. Though double Ion Shells and cutting the wave up on the safe lane are a pretty good, well, up on the Radiant safe lane, are a pretty good way to deal with the Bat if you're playing the Darkseer. It is a lane that he can win. Empire, they're going to choose to ban out the Nature's Prophet here. VP, what are they looking towards? It really depends on whether they think the Undying is sort of going to be a primary farmer in an aggressive tri-lane, or whether he's just going to be a support. Empire could still head towards a carry. And VP are actually going to choose to ban out Empire's Bane, which they have been running to great effect recently. And I guess worth noting is that the Keeper of the Light pickup is great with the Bane. He's very mana starved early on. He's great setup for the Illuminate. So Chakra helps with the mana problems, and obviously Nightmare means that you can fully charge up an Illuminate and smack someone with it. So VP, they do have the aggressive tri-lane in mind right now, so they're prepared. They're not going to be blindsided like Dignitas was just the other day. And Empire choosing to ban out the OD here. I don't think either team is really locked in their mid in any solid way just yet. If Empire think the Batrider is going to be an advantageous match against whoever VP pick up, if they think the Batrider is going to be a pretty good matchup against whoever VP pick up as their mid, then they'll send him there. Otherwise, we might just see him on that safe lane. Empire do, again, still have some pretty good flexibility right now. You can jungle the Batrider, you can offlane the Batrider, you can mid the Batrider, you can solo safe lane the Batrider. And it means that they can sort of keep VP guessing up until sort of the last picks, when we'll finally see everything coalesce and we'll know exactly what Empire are going for. VP a little bit more predictable right now. I mean, Darkseer could be mid, but probably not. More than likely just on that off lane. Might start off a little bit in the jungle just to get some levels up, just depending on what they think is going to be the tough matchup up on that top lane. Up on the off lane, sorry, they're the Dire, so on the bottom lane. I'm not sure why I thought Empire was the Dire there, but apologies for that. Hopefully I haven't confused anyone with what I've been saying. VP, what's it going to be? I mean, Empire with the OD ban might be showing that they're heading towards Batrider mid. OD pretty much shuts down any int mid in the entire game. Just by the nature of how he runs it. I mean, you have no damage, he's got full damage, he's going to be denying you pretty much every single creep, and you're not even going to have enough mana to do anything about it. So it's pretty miserable. Definitely nice to see that OD banned out. Though having the OD and the Luna would have been a bit weird. They would have ended up with two squishies who both need farm, and Empire probably could have just turned it into a really gank-heavy strat, especially with the Batrider. I mean, he's going to have trouble in lane, but once he gets a few items up, he's going to be fine. And Empire, they're actually going to opt to pick up the TA here. So, TA does have the Darkseer to contend with on the enemy team, but Empire wouldn't be all that unusual to see them run something like the TA on the safe lane and then Batrider heading towards mid. Darkseer could head towards mid from VP. It's not a bad matchup against the TA. You can keep her locked down, prevent her coming down to the, well, going up, sorry, to the defensive tri-lane and trying to do anything about it. And I guess worth noting for VP is that they're on the Dire side, so their safe lane is much less safe than the Radiant safe lane. It's easier to sort of get around and interrupt the pull. It's easier to keep tabs on heroes behind tower. It's easier to keep tabs of TPs coming in as well. So Empire, if they're looking to run an aggressive tri-lane, they've got a pretty good setup for it. We could even see the Batrider as the primary farmer in that offensive tri-lane. It's not the weirdest thing in the world. It just means the Undying and the Keeper of the Light are supports. And it's a little bit light on the disable. And VP go for the Naga Siren. Okay, so this is a bit of a curveball, I think. And they shoot through a lot of their reserve time to get here, but not sure how this is going to be run and not sure how it's going to work out. Could be something like a duo mid perhaps, but then they don't really have anything to chew through the refraction if it's up against the TA. I mean, Darkseer is their only real damage over time right now. I guess the one big advantage of the Naga is that you've got the net. You can't go invis while you're netted. It's I guess a little bit of a semi-counter to the TA, and the long duration net a pretty good response to the Batrider as well. I mean, you can force either him to net you and then drag you away, but if you get dragged, you can song once you come out. And if Batrider jumps in, you can either net him and then just kill him because he's trying to drag someone away, or you can just song and take the initiate. But VP, it leaves things a little bit strange. I mean, Naga Siren can be a carry in sort of an offensive trial lane, and then you pull regen on your Luna, and then she goes down to the, well, she goes to the safe lane. But Empire, they're going to opt to pick up the Gyrocopter here. So we'll see how this all works out for them. It might just be the offlane Bat, the TA mid, and then a defensive tri-lane, or they could be running the offensive tri-lane with Batrider in the safe lane. VP, not sure what their reaction is going to be. I think with the Naga Siren, they might have been looking to aggressive tri-lane this. I mean, they could do some jungle shenanigans with the illusions or something like that. But I guess I'm not going to lock in any prediction for myself just yet. We'll leave that up in the air, and we'll see how that's played once we get into the game. And VP, how are they going to round it off? I really think they just need one more support, and that's going to be the winner for them right now. So everyone's going to pick up their heroes. We're going to get underway with the game. Hopefully I won't butcher the pronunciation on anyone's name too much, and hopefully the stream will be stable and we'll be going ahead. So I'll finally remember to use my overlay this time around. Getting into the game, we're going to have Tame My Wild on the Darkseer. This is the side of VP. Santa's going to be on the Winner. Airman going to be on the Luna. KSI on the Naga Siren. And NS going to be playing the Rubik. So nothing too surprising there. Over on Empire, it is going to be Scandal on his TA. Blow Your Brain is going to be on the Gyrocopter, as you would expect. Phonic on the Batrider. Go Black going to be on the Undying. And Silent, or SS, is going to be on the Keeper of the Light. So let's have a quick check-in on starting items. Scandal's heading towards mid. He's got a Bottle Rush set up. Blow Your Brain, first point up in the Rocket Barrage. Looks like it's just going to be straight to a Ring of Aquila for him. And he's actually been pulled a little bit of regen. Though, I mean, Gauntlet heads towards Drum, Circlet as well. He's got plenty of options in terms of his inventory. He could go Tranquils, he could get a Bazzi if they're going for an offensive tri-lane or anything like that. And Empire, they're actually just checking out the Rosh Pit, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to consider that one. Go Black, he's looking pretty light right now. Silent has some obs. Do they have any sentries? No, okay, so it's definitely not a defensive tri-lane if they don't have any sentries picked up, since there would be the option for VP to ward their pull and deny them a significant amount of XP. So Empire, they're going to be heading up towards top. Offensive tri-lane away for them. NS, he's got some obs, he's got some sentries. KSI waiting off in the wings. It's going to be Santa heading towards mid, and that means it's a support Naga Siren. So KSI going to be playing that one. A little bit interesting to see, but I guess it might work out for them. And yeah, I guess that's the big question. Can the Naga Siren make the big difference in this lane? I mean, I don't think the illusions get the damage bonus, so that's probably something that I should know, but I have to clarify that. And VP just waiting off on the side, but Play Brain, he's got an invis, so just scouting out a little bit. But it looks like he's not going to spot any of VP, and even going all the way into this little juke spot here as well. NS is going to reveal himself along with KSI, but they're in a little bit of trouble. Two-man decay. NS now taking a lot of damage. This might be our first blood, in fact. Illuminate comes through, picking that one up. KSI retreats on about half HP, but a very easy kill by Empire. Sort of set up there by just having that invis. They didn't know how close Blow Your Brain was. And Rocket Barrage does absolutely crazy damage at level 1. So VP, they had a lane ward down. They were looking to go aggressive right from the start, try and pick up that first blood for themselves. But it gets turned around on them. And Empire already have their wards down, blocking out the pull. And then a high ground ward up here, which is very unlikely to be dewarded most times. You would expect the ward to be over here. So they sacrifice a little bit of useful vision, just to make sure that they have vision of the rune. So Airman's going to be taking the primary farm up in this lane. Our mid matchup is Winner against the TA. It's not terrible. The TA, especially with the nerf to the refraction mana cost, can be harassed fairly badly by the Winner. And obviously with Winner, it's fairly difficult for the TA to try and set up a kill. And our bot matchup is, again, the Batrider up against the Darkseer. And Tame My Wild, or Tame My Wild's just running double Ion Shells right now to try and push the wave up underneath Phonic's tower. So a nice decision there. He can alternate between double Ion Shelling and then just cutting the wave to try and do this interruption, but right now it's double Ion Shell, and really enjoying it, but looks like he might be considering going around. Not just yet. So VP, they throw down a sentry, but looks like it was just out of range of the obs, and I mean, this camp did spawn. So I guess maybe they were just looking for a ward over here that would be blocking out this hard camp. But not finding anything, and their pull's going to stay blocked out, though they can't really look to run any pulls against the offensive trial lane that Empire have right now. They really need the supports to be right there, and especially without something like a Shadow Demon. I mean, you can have the Rubik off maybe trying to run a pull, but with well, an effectively melee hero and a melee hero, it could spell trouble. But Empire, they don't have a hard disable, so maybe it's not all that bad. NS coming in for a little bit of harassment. Still hasn't spotted out the ward just yet. KSI and Airman moving in as well. I mean, blow your brain all the way back at the tower, so people are a little bit split up. And Go Black now the target. Can they get the net? Opting to hold on to it right now. And Scandal able to grab at the 2-minute rune. That was an Illu down on bot. So NS finally gets rid of that ward on the pole camp, but not sure if they can even opt to run some poles right now. And blow your brain, finding pretty good farm. Every single lane working out well for Empire right now, and Funnick going aggressive on Tame. He still got some stick charges, used them just then, trying to get back in range for the Ion Shell damage, but Funnick doing a great job of kiting him, and this might be our first blood. Either way, there's the Flame Break. One more auto attack might do it. Yes, it will. That's our first, well, that's not actually our first blood, but that's our second kill, drawn by Funnick down on that bottom lane. So it's looking pretty good for Empire, and Funnick's now ahead on bot. It is a lane that Darkseer can do fairly well in, but now being pretty much, I would expect, an entire level behind. This is going to spell trouble for him. And the next level is really significant. That's another rank up in the Ion Shell. So VP playing defensively on top. It's 3 heroes invested here. NS going for a pull right now. Quick check-in on mid. It's 16 for 9 on Scandal, and Santa is 15 for 3. So Santa falling behind just a little bit, and Scandal trying to force out the winner. He's still got one more fraction charge there. Now going aggressive. A couple more right clicks is all he needs. Look, he's going for the dive. The bottle charge up. Scandal now in trouble. Mini stun. Power shot doesn't quite connect, but the tower finishing him off regardless. And Funnick at the same time finds another kill on the Darkseer on bot. Big dive up towards top. Airman getting stunned up by the rocket there. Go Black coming in aggressively. Doesn't have any decay stacks up just yet, but Empire really in control of this lane up on top. And still not sure how this Naga Siren pick is supposed to be working for VP right now. And Santa in trouble on mid. Funnick comes in. He's got the lasso available, and one stack is going to be enough to get him in range. Now up into the air. Can't auto attack Santa while he's lassoed. That was the recent change, but this looks like it is going to be a kill. There's the flame break. Animation disappearing for me for some reason, but looks like Funnick's going to be fine to escape. And up on top, a little bit of action happening. Airman's going to drop. Empire diving all the way underneath the tower, and KSI now being chased down by Go Black. He's going to try and TP out. Does Go Black have enough right click damage to do this? No, he does not. Couldn't get that second auto attack in. So KSI narrowly escapes, but it's a 5-kill lead on the board right now for Empire. And I mean, Tame just not having a fun time. Needs to go down towards bot and then just continue to farm up. But Funnick, he's happy with his position right now. He's got his tranquils, he's got his bottle, and every single time that lasso is up, he should be trying to find a kill. So a really good start for Empire. Funnick wins his own lane, and then he immediately goes over to try and help Scandal win mid. I mean, he did die to diving that tower to Santa, so Santa was a little bit ahead. But with that kill going back the other way, Scandal sort of straight back into it. VP, a little bit of pressure relieved on top. Not sure what KSI was doing off to the side. Maybe just walking back into the lane now after TPing out. And Darkseer now opting to cut the wave since he is a little bit behind. But Funnick is heading all the way around. Might be in trouble, only a few seconds away from that lasso. He does have 2 points up in the surge. But Funnick just, well, keeping him away right now, and Silent is here as well. Does he have a point up in the mana leak? He doesn't, but not sure if they even need it. That surge is going to be running out in just a sec. Santa comes down, but he walks straight into Funnick. Good shackle there, and Ion Shell as well. Looks like they're going to be fine to escape, but Funnick might try and look for a flame break here, and we've got the win run popping. Illuminate not guessing the direction correctly, so VP going to be fine to escape. And a little bit of action happening up on top. Scandal comes up and Blow all the way back behind the tower. He picks up that kill. Scandal now going aggressively on KSI. He's just trying to juke around, but Airman drops. And Blow Your Brain now shackled. Scandal comes in looking for Santa. Is that winner enough cooldown? It is, but 3 of Empire still chasing down KSI. There's the call down as well. One hit connects, the second will not, and Scandal trying to make his way around. NS comes in, Telekinesis up in the air. This is a pretty good turnaround for VP, but Scandal's already dropping low, and the Tombstone is down one more time. They can't afford to focus this Blow. Good jukes, huge damage from that Rocket Barrage, and still alive somehow. Santa drops, but Blow at the same time takes a fall. KSI looks like he's going to be fine to escape, but as the dust settles, Empire now leading by 7. And Airman just trying to get what farm he can, but I don't think the aggression is done from Empire. And again, everything just really coming up trumps for them right now. Funnick's getting great farm, Blow as well. Well, Funnick getting great farm, Scandal getting some good farm as well, and Blow also up there. So pretty much every lane just doing fantastically for Empire. And we've just passed 6 minutes. Let's have a quick check-in on the warding situation. We had a fresh ward well, not a fresh ward, but a ward put down a little while ago by VP to keep an eye on the top lane, and then just a rune ward down on bot for Empire right now. So that's the extent of it, though Empire do obviously have the TA traps to help spot out these runes as well. Santa's still trying to find what farm he can on mid, but I have to say that Scandal's probably been a little bit more successful with the roaming around. We've got more action happening up on top. Goblek pops the ult and the tombstone, but Airman's still on half HP, pops off the stick charges, and looks like he's going to be fine. Silent actually eats a power shot and the Lucent Beam. He's going to be killed off. Great shot there by Santa, and now comes in with the Shackle as well, trying to kill off the Rocket. Should be able to do so with that haste. Just needs to turn around for the last hit there. So a nice easy pick off there from VP. And Blow, another target. Santa comes in. He's looking for a power shot off to the side. They actually kill off Goblek there. And now Blow in trouble getting the Rocket Barrage damage down, but Airman off to the side. The call down is here, and Airman can't come back in. Santa body blocking a little bit, but also taking huge damage from the Barrage, which is going to be off cooldown in just a second. Lucent Beam, power shot misses. Blow might be able to grab this kill, but one right click from Airman. Well, one right click from Santa, rather, gets that one. Santa now in trouble, trying to buy up as best he can before he drops. The trap slowing him down, now out of the win run, and Scandal should be fine to get in position to finish this one up. If not, Silent might just grab it with a very quick Illuminate, but there's actually a net, and maybe a bit of an indecision there from Silent as to whether or not he should finish up that kill, or just give it to Scandal. So Santa does actually escape. So I guess maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there from Empire, or not realizing that KSI was coming in. VP, they actually make a rotation down towards the bottom lane. Darkseer has been farming up this entire time, so doing pretty well in terms of CS, but Funnick really leading the pack right now. Some of that may be jungle creeps, however, so it may not be the best indication, and Darkseer's got something flying out. Well, got something dropped off right now. So not the best picture of his creep score just yet. And Funnick heads off to the side. Airman comes in, does have the Eclipse, but great jukes by Funnick. Airman just tanking up the tower, the Flame Break as well. There's no support coming in just yet, though Scandal is off to the side right now. And just throwing down a few traps. But Empire, while VP are away, they're just going to be happy to push down these towers, and probably leading heavily in terms of XP and gold right now. 4k the swing in either regard. We've got Santa heading up towards the top rune, spots himself out, double damage there. But they're still trying to mitigate, well, trying to stop whatever's happening up on this top lane, as opposed to trying to put any split pressure, maybe try and grab the mid tower. And Empire, they're only investing 3 right now, though Funnick is now heading back to base. How close is he to his blink? Well, speaking of that, it's finished, so that's a 10-minute blink up on this Batrider, and Funnick playing fantastically as always. So Empire claim the tier 1, VP looking for some kills. Santa pops up the double damage. Not sure if this one was spotted out, though they did obviously have that side trap to keep tabs on it. And Funnick now brought up by the recall. It's a 4v4. The drag back on KSI, straight back into the waiting arms of Empire. And KSI going to be eating that call down. That's a kill there. And looks like VP just going to disengage, but Scandal, not sure if he's going to have any of that. Coming in from the side, blows the trap. NS the target, good shackle from Santa. And Tim going to be able to get the surge away on NS. So fine for now. The Illuminate flies through, doesn't connect on anyone. And the Rocket should be cleaned up fairly easily as it comes across. But Empire, it's super aggressive from them right now, investing 5 up towards top. And we'll see if they try and claim the tier 2. The tier 1 on mid did already fall. Funnick heading down that way. Doesn't really have the lasso right now, so probably just going to be going back to get a little bit more farm. And we'll see if Empire commit to this. I mean, the tombstone is up, but Scandal TPing away. Not sure if they're going to take this one 3v5, though they do have some great heroes to try if they would like. KSI still not quite level 6. Again, not sure how this support Naga Siren is supposed to be working out. I mean, I guess, okay, here's probably the rationale behind it. They've got Undying. In the mid game, we can pop Song of the Siren and then right click down the tombstone before the fight breaks out, since we don't really have the means to deal with it otherwise. Airman in trouble on top. He's going to eat an Illuminate as well. Zombie still chasing, now killed off. Not sure if there's any range damage to come through. And the Rocket is actually on NS there. Scandal grabs himself a haste. Santa was heading down that way and going to pop off the win run just to ensure his escape. But yeah, I guess I have to say that the Naga Siren pickup, maybe because the tombstone isn't immune during the Song of the Siren, so you can kill it off in that duration, but Picking up the Naga just for that reason strikes me as a little bit weird. So Silent comes up. It's good aggressive warding right now from Empire, keeping tabs on everyone. And Funnick now looking for a drag back. Not dragging back into the Illuminate. Not sure if NS is going to survive regardless. It's a 4-man. We'll make that a 5-man dive coming in from Empire. And this is just, I guess this is just their play at its finest. They know they're ahead. They know they can just take towers. They know they can group up. And that there's very, very little that VP can do about it. Power shot flies through, but we've got an Illuminate to wipe out. Well, wipe out nothing. The creep wave not just spawning, so a little bit of bad timing there from Silent. We've got a Lucent Beam on his head, and Empire, can they pick this one up? Go Black throws down the ultimate and the Tombstone. Are they going to pop the song to try and right-click this one down? That is going to be the strategy right now, but Empire should be able to turn this around, and the tower already dead. Scandal picking that one up, so no deny. VP, are they going to disengage? NS is walking back in. Airman pops up the Eclipse. Is Go Black going to drop? Nice Shackle hits on 2, but here's the call down and the Illuminate over the top. Everyone being knocked out by the Flame Break there, but not sure if it matters. Blow picks up a double kill, and NS now stunned up by the Rocket. Funnick on a mega kill streak, and the Illuminate not quite connecting just there, but it's a 4-for-1 trade, and looks like Empire aren't done just yet. Moving up onto the high ground, they do have a blink, but they don't have the lasso up for 20 seconds. We're now going to blink up on Scandal, just waiting for that one to be delivered, and Empire, they know they've got time to try and put some damage on this tier 3. Not sure if they're going to be able to secure it, though Scandal is going to have another refraction in just a second as well. KSI comes in from the side, and VP now all respawning. Looks like Empire just going to back it off. But VP, it's looking pretty bad for them right now. A 7.5k XP deficit, over 10k gold, especially because of all those towers, and the net worth sort of painting, painting not a very pretty picture for VP right now. They do sort of have dual carry and the defensive team fight from the Darks here to fall back on, but if it comes to that, Empire will probably just play starvation tactics until they can break up onto the high ground. So Empire, they're just going to group up down on bot. There is still a tier 1 for them to claim here, and an aggressive smoke from VP. Shackle doesn't latch, but there's the net. Go Black in trouble. He's going to throw down the Tombstone, do as much as he possibly can. And there's the Blinding Light. This might spell trouble for picking out this Tombstone. Airman now grabs. Blow chasing through. It's already 4 dead, and Santa trying to make a very hasty retreat, but it's another 4-for-1 trade, and VP, same story as last team fight. Yeah, trading away 4 for the Undying. And VP are going to call the GG, so tapping out at 15 minutes. Really well played by Empire, but I really think it just translated through from the draft there from VP. I mean, their defensive tri-lane couldn't really hold its own, and Funnick, I guess MVP for Empire, he won his own lane and then immediately proceeded to go over and win mid as well. So extremely good play from him. Everyone's on VP is going to disconnect off. I'll wait for the final score screen for the sake of the VODs, and then we'll probably be getting into game 2 within 5 or 10 minutes after this. So, yep, looks like that's going to be it. As always, I've been Basskip. I hope you guys enjoyed the game. This was game 1 of our best of 3 set between VP and Empire for our winner bracket finals for the Premier League. As always, I am just the unofficial cast for this match. The official cast for this game was Triumph of Man and Eternal Envy over on the Premier League stream. So if you didn't enjoy my coverage, or if I'm lagging too hard, then you guys can go and check them out. But I hope to see you guys in future broadcasts.